Greetings, fellow humans. It's been a while, not so much. I am donning my Ravenclaw colors, and it is for a very special reason. Although I released something in June or the end of May, I actually haven't done a video. It's been a rocky year, to put it lightly. Had to have a cough. What is a JD Estrada video in fall or winter time without a cough? It's nothing. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyways, going back to Ravenclaw, um, one of the most resounding or prevalent traits for Ravenclaws are creativity and a love for creativity, and that's something I can definitely um, identify with. And for several years, I've been doing a project called Blanc Comics, and I think this is the first time that I'm gonna be able to show you a blank comic. So, if you've ever seen a variant cover comic, it's actually one title of a comic, and it's got a blank cover so that either your artist of choice does the cover or you do the cover yourself. So basically, I took that concept and I did entire original storylines for that. So I actually have two titles that are available in physical form. One is Tricks and Ladders, the other one is Raining Dead. These are actually fully fleshed out stories. And I shall show you what a blank comic is. A blank comic has the panels, has the dialogue, has the description of what goes in the panels, but it is blank. And the main thing is that this is a tribute to my grandmother, who was actually visually impaired. She had advanced glaucoma and she could only see silhouettes of people. And rather than just a character based on Tata, I wanted to do a concept, so I did blank comics. um, this came about for several reasons. As mentioned, partially it's a tribute to my grandmother. Even though that she was visually impaired, she could tell stories with such level of detail that I always found that fascinating. She actually she had glaucoma. She was visually impaired. Then something happened. She actually had advanced glaucoma, and she lived in the Canary Islands, and they actually had some people that helped her around in the house, and they were maids and stuff. One maid was particularly close to Tata, and one day she was taking care of my grandmother when she was a wee lass. She brought a dove, or yeah, she brought a dove. Put it next to her pillow, said a couple of things, left the dove there for a while, came back, took the dove was okay and was fine. Let it go. Next day, her vision was fine. What happens? She lives a full life. Like 40 years after that, she starts getting cataracts. So they do an operation for cataracts, and very soon afterwards, she starts. Her vision degenerates at a really accelerated pace. When they do studies on her, it turns out that her optic nerve had been atrophied and pretty much dead for the better part of her life, and there was no reason why she could see. So um, that's why I had to do a tribute to her. She was a beautiful woman, the most immaculate hands that you can imagine. So, since I'm a lover of graphic novels and comics, rather than just do a comic, I did this because there's a second reason. 2016 Puerto Rico Comic Con, I'm there. They're doing a talent scout. No, 2015, pardon me, because it was the second year that I went. They were doing talent scouts. 200 plus hopefuls went. They chose like two or three people, and there were a lot of dejected kids, and I felt bad because I was trying to motivate them and say, hey, it's just one tryout. It's not your only shot. Go for it and whatnot. But it kind of stuck with me, and I was like, I have to do something. And then I got the idea to do a blank comic so that they could draw it and include it in their portfolio, because a lot of artists aren't necessarily writers, they're just artists. And I wanted to give them something to show. So this started off like like on paper, then on cardstock, then on another thing, and this is the latest step. So basically, Tricks and Ladders is one of the titles, and you don't have to be a master artist for this. You just have to want to draw a comic, and basically the entire thing is done, and you just have to draw it. I've never seen one completed. I've seen panels here and there. I've seen like half blank comic done, but I've never seen a completed blank comic. But a lot of people say, "Oh, that's a great idea," and it doesn't get to the next step. I don't know why, and I don't care. I do care, and that's why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this just to put a little more attention on it. Tricks and Ladders is about a magician and an angel who have a semi-private detective agency. They actually have a pet macaw called Padlock, and they solve unsolvable crimes. And it's a lot of fun to write. It's very whimsical. It's kind of Doctor Who-ish, Sherlock Holmes-ish. Raining Dead is a different style, and it's a samurai, a vampire, and a Native American who are the only survivors of their own little groups, and there's actually a zombie apocalypse. And the reason why this takes place in the 18th century, the only reason why we're still alive is thanks to those three individuals that interfered with the apocalypse. Every time it rained, bad things happened and zombies occurred. So it's an exploration of that, and it's in terms of creativity. And as a writer, I wanted to really push myself to write very different things. One is whimsical and kind of fun. The other one is more serious in tone, and it's looking to push artists in different directions to develop different things. As you can see, it says by J.D. Estrada, and waiting for someone to put their name there. This is actually available on Amazon. And so, apart from me being out of practice in terms of videos, why am I doing this video? Just because I love the project, I'm going to keep pushing it. If you're an artist and would like a copy, and you live in the States, hey, drop me a line. Might send you a copy, just that, and so you have something. If someone's interested in doing that and maybe doing a collab, why not? I'm just putting the vibes out there. In terms of the existence of Blanc Comics, it's a tribute to my grandmother, and it's actually a project that's very special to me, and people react very positively, but it just doesn't take off. So if you have any ideas of what I can do to... I tried contacting schools to see if I could have titles of this for an art class and stuff like that. I've contacted people. Everyone responds super positively, but hey, maybe it's up to you to help this get to the next step. So, if you have any questions about Tricks and Ladders or Raining Dead, there's actually two other titles that I have one volume in them. Each of these have 3 stories inside. There's about 12 pages to each story. So there's a lot to draw. So, I don't know if I should read it. I'm going to read you one panel from Tricks and Ladders. So, there's 4 panels to this one. 3 panels to this one. One says, the man darts a look towards the mailbox. The second one says, there's a single parcel in the box. And the third one says, there's a handwritten note tied to the parcel. The message says, my husband has been murdered. It barely made the news. The police are worthless. I need real help. If you are interested in this case, open the parcel. If not, send a single ping within the void in F#. If you happen to accept the case, make sure to open a parcel in a 10-foot by 10-foot space. Cordially, M. Cornwall. And this is how it looks. Why is the description the way that it is? That's actually the third purpose of Blanc Comics. and it's to tolerate points of view. Because if I give three people that description, these comics and whatnot, and ask them to draw it, they're going to come up with different perspectives, points of views, colors, details. Maybe there's something extra on the desk, and it begs the question: which perspective is the most correct? And the answer is they are all valid. They are all correct, and in times where we're very intolerant of points of view, I think it drives the message home that we should be open and receptive to what other people have to share. So, there you go. Blank Comics, available on Amazon. By the way, if you like this video and my coughing, I know you don't like the coughing, but if you like the videos and my face, and my voice, and the Ravenclaw, and the whole shtick, click like and subscribe. I rarely say that, and I should do it more often. Who knows? Maybe I'll get an extra follower or two. But regardless, I always enjoy engaging with people, and I'm really curious to see what people think about this project in its current form, and if there are any areas of opportunity. So, if you feel like it, use that sexy comment section down below. And let's chat it up. So until next time, peace, love, and maki rolls.